back to another video of Mike's Geek Corner with your host, Mike Quevedo. And today I picked up to review for you Batman Gothic, the trade paperback, which collects the 5 issues from the arc of Batman Legends of the Dark Knight, published in 1990. It's written by Grant Morrison and drawn by Klaus Janson. And it takes place in Batman's early years. And like Batman the Cult, this one also balances superheroics with horror and religion to sharp effect. And it gives us a fresh, compelling villain as Grant Morrison, hot off his twisted Arkham Asylum, a Serious House on Serious Earth graphic novel, returns to add another psychological grim tale for the Dark Knight. As mob bosses are being killed by a mysterious figure known as Mr. Whisper, the remaining bosses gather to summon Batman through a bat signal of their own in an attempt to strike a deal with the Dark Knight to stop these murders in exchange for them to cease their illegal endeavors for a certain period of time. As they also explained to Batman that 20 years ago they had killed Mr. Whisper after Whisper had killed 7 children, and now he had returned to kill them as he had promised. Batman rejects the offer but decides to investigate by himself. The description of Whisper being a man with no shadow makes Bruce Wayne recall a headmaster named Mr. Winchester back when he was a kid at a private school where Winchester had murdered a classmate of his. While this is happening, we are also introduced to a mysterious traveling young woman who claims to be the bride of Christ, and that a man resembling Mr. Whisper himself, named Mr. Wicker, is planning the restoration of Gotham Cathedral, which is to be reopened very soon. After one of the remaining mob bosses, Ottavio, is killed by Whisper, Batman confronts Whisper, and after displaying formidable feats of strength in holding off the Dark Knight, Whisper then recognizes Batman as Bruce Wayne before vanishing as he leapt off a seemingly dead fall. After deciphering Winchester's record lectures from his former school, Batman travels to Vienna, Austria, where he learns that at a monastery from a local monk of a drowned monastery where once a certain monk leader named Manfred became motivated to lean towards sin along with his followers as they committed rape and murder to a group of nuns before Manfred, in an attempt to be spared from a certain black plague, supposedly made a trade with the devil by offering his soul in exchange for 300 years of life. Batman heads to the drowned monastery, where he discovers a schematic of what looks like Gotham Cathedral. Having deduced that Whisper, Winchester, and Manfred being the same man, Batman returns to Gotham, where a death trap awaits him and where Mr. Whisper plans to unleash a plague on Gotham at the reopening of the cathedral and shoot the devil to reclaim his soul. So, Grant Morrison, much like he had done previously in Arkham Asylum, gives us another bad yarn with a dose of creepiness and symbolism that has made his Batman work among his most standout. And he really knows how to make the most sadistic villains, e.g. Professor Pig, and Mr. Whisper is one eerie bastard, especially within the religious Faustian angle. Morrison also does very well in handling adding more layers to Bruce Wayne's childhood as it connects to Mr. Whisper. Klaus Janson, being no stranger whatsoever to illustrating stories of the Dark Knight, from inking Gene Colan's early 80s Batman work to inking Frank Miller in The Dark Knight Returns, Janson's art feels right at home in Gothic, with its sharp use of shadows and moody atmosphere, albeit some of its blockiness I could do without. It very much feels like a DC Vertigo type story, very Hellblazer, Sandman Mystery Theater-like. Complaints? Well, maybe the lack of Jim Gordon. Yeah, that's a minus. And then there's also this little detail of Batman just showing up as himself in the monastery in Austria, which I could have thought Batman to be more crafty with that, maybe using another disguise a la his Matches Malone, you know. So I guess only those two things could be the cons. Other than that, all in all, I found this a very thrilling read. It's always fun to see Batman tangle with the supernatural, as well as a mystery that involves religion, and have his detective skills be put to its utmost use. So, if you like such Batman yarns, go order it at Amazon or on eBay or at your local comic book store. I do believe there's a much more recent edition of it. Yeah, I think from this year, last year, I'm not sure, but it's out there. So go pick it up. You'll be thrilled. And that's going to be the review for this year. I wish you all a very happy new year. Be safe. Make sure to leave your comments down below. Give it a like if you like this video and subscribe. And I'll be seeing you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.